All right, guys, so let's look at this vise for a minute. This is the Yost 455 vise, and I did a little bit of research. I'm no vise professional. Matter of fact, I'm no professional of anything at all. Anyways, so I did a little bit of research, and I was trying to figure out what type of vise do I need to buy for my first vise? How big is too big and how small is too small? So of course I went straight to Amazon and searched, bench vise, and the first thing that came up was a little 4.5-inch home vise by Yost. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Yost or Yost, I'm not sure. But it looked a little small, but the price was right. It was about 30 bucks or just under that. Anyways, I went to Home Depot, kind of looked at their brand, which was Bessie, and their prices were right around $75 to $85 or even a little more, depending on the size. And then back to Amazon and looked at some better Yost vices and other brands and all that, but what I came up with was the Yost 455 seemed to be right in that sweet spot of, perfect price, not too expensive, but also big enough size and rated for, heavy duty usage. So after reading through the reviews on Amazon, I basically came to the conclusion yes, I'm not gonna find a better deal than this. They're all gonna be kind of similar when it gets to this heavy duty kind of price range. $76 or so is what I paid, and I will put a link down in the description below this video if you guys are curious. But I just got through mounting this thing and it is epic. I had to go out to Home Depot and search for the correct size bolts to be able to mount this thing to my newly built workbench here. And what I came up with was 7/16 on the bolt size and basically, a couple washers and a lock washer and lock nuts if you can find them. As far as mounting the vise, I did have some leftover plywood from when I built my bench, and I just used an extra little sheet of that and put it underneath the top layer of this bench. So now there's 2 layers of plywood there, which is basically 1.5 inches worth of wood underneath this vise. In terms of torque on these bolts, I didn't torque them too tight. I just made them really snug, and that's about it. I've heard that the castings on the base of these, if you tighten them way too tight, you can actually crack them because they are iron, and iron isn't as malleable as something like steel. So you don't want to do it too tight, you just want it tight enough. This is a 5.5-inch vise, which means the jaw width is 5.5 inches. But as far as the opening of the jaw, it opens up to 5 inches. It seems pretty heavy duty. The build quality seems excellent. It weighs about 29 pounds, so this is a hefty vise, I have to say. But for a first vise, I think this is gonna last me probably the rest of my life if I treat it well. Just like most vices, these jaws are removable and replaceable, and you can replace them with different types of materials and things like that. There are also caps that you can put in there. Just so it's kind of like a non-marring surface when you clamp down on something that you don't want to put marks on. The vise does swivel a full 360 degrees, which is pretty awesome. So you can put this thing in any different position that you want. It feels really sturdy. I don't have a complaint at all with the build quality or what it looks like or anything like that. Nothing about this thing looks cheap. It's also got 2 locking handles here, so you can lock the vise into whatever position you need to lock it into. I've mounted it here on the corner of my bench, and that way I can kind of swing it either way I need. And obviously I can swing it back here and do all these, movements if I need to. But I think that this movement here is going to be pretty much the majority of what I use. So anyways, like I was saying, I am no vise professional. I'm not a professional machinist. I don't know much about this sort of stuff. All I know is I needed one, I wanted one, I built my bench, and I built it so that I can put a vise on the corner, and that's what I did. So what I would like is to hear from you guys. What type of vise do you guys own? Do any of you own this exact vise? Comment below. I'd like to hear about that. If any of you guys have good experience with Yost or Yost, if any of you guys have bad experiences with them, let me know. Just giving my 2 cents here in the limited knowledge that I have with vices, this thing seems to be rock solid, and I bet I'll have this for a really, really long time. Well guys, I'm Jimmy with One Road. This was a quick look at the Yost 455 that I just bought and mounted, and I'm stoked. So if you guys like this video, stay tuned because there are many more great videos coming up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and also hit that thumbs up if you could. Most importantly, comment below and let me know what you think. All right guys, my name is Jimmy again, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.